Hey guys, it's Lego Boy Z3. These are my top 5 favorite 3x3 shape mods. So today I'm going to be showing you the top 5 mods in my collection that are 3x3 shape mods. And so basically what that means is they are just a modification of the 3x3, not specifically ones that I have made, but just ones in general. Like a lot of these are mass produced and you can just buy them like this. But it's basically a 3x3 put into a different orientation and just kind of made different. So first up on this list we have the mirror cube, and this is actually a Rubik's brand mirror cube. They don't make them anymore, but they did make them originally. I do actually have the box for it that I've found since my last videos, and it is indeed Rubik's brand. And so the reason this is on the list is really I don't have a ton of 3x3 shape mods. There's probably like 7 of them, and so most of them made it on this list, including this one. And the quality of the puzzle isn't helping it get anywhere because the quality of the puzzle is really horrible. It's Rubik's brand, so you never should expect a Rubik's brand puzzle to turn well at all, but the actual concept of the puzzle is pretty cool. Basically, instead of having a color on each side, you just have the height of the piece, which determines the side that it goes on. And so you'd match up all the ones that have this height, this height, this height, this height, and so this is all this height layer, this is all another height layer, and then like if you were to do this, this is another height, this is another height, and this is another height, and this is another height. And so this is just a cool shape mod overall, just because it's kind of fun to solve, and you can solve it pretty fast. You can even do it blindfolded with no inspection, because it's pretty easy to just feel the shapes of it. And it's just kind of a fun puzzle to have around, and lots of people have them. Even a lot of people who aren't really into cubing have this puzzle, and so it's really popular. But going forwards, after that puzzle, we now have the Shengshou Mastermorphix. And so this is a puzzle that's basically a 3x3. As you can see, the centers are here, edges are here, corners are here, 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 and here. But it's turned, instead of being a cubic shape, it's turned into a tetrahedron. And so it's not a perfect tetrahedron, it's a little bit pillowed. And that's just because it looks kind of weird when it isn't pillowed. And so basically what it can do is it can shapeshift. It can go 90 degrees like this, and all these puzzles can actually shapeshift to some degree. And it's just kind of a fun puzzle to solve. It's actually quite challenging. The 4x4 version too, which isn't a 3x3 shape mod of course, is also pretty fun. But yeah, this is just a fun puzzle to solve, and it's not too challenging. There are some weird parodies and stuff because of the fact that there are 3 of this exact same piece and stuff like that, and you have to get the center alignment right, like on a couple of these other ones too. And it's really just a fun mod. I don't have too much to say about it, but it's fun. But after that, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. We have the barrel cube, and this is actually a custom mod that I've made. I made it out of a Shengshou 3x3, and so it's a barrel mod, and you can see I just rounded it out and rounded the whole 3x3 shape out into a perfect round shape like this, and stickered it just like a 3x3, and so that makes it not very challenging, but I didn't really want a challenging puzzle, I wanted a fun puzzle. And there really isn't too much to say about this puzzle either, besides it's just a fun puzzle. You can see you can turn it like this, and it will stay in a round shape no matter what you do. But this way it'll shapeshift, and you see you have to line up the centers right, at least these 4 of them, and so that can make it a little bit more tricky too. And there's just all sorts of fun challenges when you're solving it, but it still is pretty easy as long as you know how to orient the centers. And so it's just a fun puzzle overall, and that's why it is 3rd on this list. Next up we have the ghost cube. This is actually one that I made really recently, and so you see it doesn't have the perfect finish on the outside. You see there's like scratch marks and stuff like that. And that's because this puzzle is 3D printed, and I 3D printed it and put in the hardware for my Zanchi, and I'll be getting some new hardware for that soon. But the concept of this puzzle is basically every single piece is different, and there's no specific geometry as to which piece goes where when you make the shape mod. Basically this is a center, this is an edge, but this is also a center, this is a center. They all look different, and so what you have to do is, this is a cube shape like that, and then you have to misalign it a little bit like that until you're able to turn it fully like a 3x3. And so really the solved state of this puzzle is not quite square, it's something like this, and so that makes it a little bit of a challenge because it's not quite solved. You have to solve it into this position and then move it back into a cube shape. And so that's really a lot of what adds to the challenge of it, and so I've actually only solved it once. That was in my video about it, but I made it pretty recently, so I could probably solve it a little bit better and more efficiently nowadays, but it's a pretty fun puzzle to solve, and it's a pretty fun puzzle to have around, and people walk up to it and they like, how does it turn? And then they're like, oh, it turns like this, but it still won't turn. Okay, that seems pretty easy. You just do this, but it's actually a lot harder than people think. But really just how hard it is and me making it really makes it quite fun puzzle in my opinion, and so that's why it is quite high on this list. The last one is just a very well-made puzzle overall that I really enjoy solving. This is the Crazy Fisher YiLeng Moyu, whatever you call it, cube. But the concept of this is it does have a fixed geometry, unlike the ghost cube, and so it is kind of offset like a ghost cube, but you can turn every single layer like this without having to do set it moves first, and so that's pretty cool. And it's just a really well-made puzzle. It's made kind of like a guanlong. I don't think it's quite a guanlong, but the mechanism is pretty good. Right when I was mentioning how good the mechanism is, the piece broke. No, it was actually just a cap. But it actually turns really, really well, and so this is probably the best 3x3 shape mod that I have, and there's actually a different variation of this that is the same on every side, and so it looks something like this on every side, and it's just offset by a little bit, but this is the Fisher version because it goes straight down the axis of the cube like this, and so that gives it some weird properties, like you can do this, and it won't mess up the cube shape, but when you do this, it messes it up really badly, and also when you do this and this, it also will mess it up. And yeah, that's the checker pattern on it. It looks really cool. And the challenge of this isn't quite as much as the ghost cube because it does have stickers, colored stickers on it, and so you can kind of just line them up just like you would do a normal Fisher cube, and it's really not much more difficult than that. It's pretty much just a Fisher cube, but it's offset a little bit, and so it's pretty fun puzzle to solve because there's not much of a challenge in it, but it is kind of challenging for newer cubers, and you still have to orient the centers. Centers can be moved the wrong way, and there's just all sorts of weird challenges and stuff, and it just turns really well, and so that's why it is number 1 on this list. But that's pretty much it for this video. These are all my top 5 favorite 3x3 shape mods. So that's pretty much it. If you want to buy any of these puzzles, well, this one isn't for sale, but I can give you the link to a similar version. This one is for sale, of course, and this one is too. These two are both custom mods, so I'll have videos linked about these two and all the rest of them that I have videos on down in the description. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, then leave some suggestions down below for more top 5 videos that I can make. I'm doing them all summer, so I need definitely some more ideas for these types of videos. And be sure to stay subscribed to be notified when another video like this comes out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!